Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Show consideration for, take into account. You must consider her age. Give careful consideration to. Consider the possibility of moving. Judge or regard. Look upon, judge. Look at carefully, study mentally. Think about carefully, weigh. They considered the possibility of a strike. Look at attentively. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Deem to be. I consider her to be shallow. Regard or treat with consideration, respect, and esteem. Please consider your family. Put into a group. The Academy counts several Nobel Prize winners among its members. Show consideration for, take into account. Determine the number or amount of. Can you count the books on your shelf? Have faith or confidence in. You can count on me to help you anytime. Take account of. The act of counting, reciting numbers in ascending order. The counting continued for several hours. Have weight, have import, carry weight. A nobleman, in various countries, having rank equal to a British earl. Have a certain value or carry a certain weight. Each answer counts as 3 points. Include as if by counting. I can count my colleagues in the opposition. Name or recite the numbers in ascending order. The toddler could count to 100. The total number counted. A blood count. Show consideration for, take into account. To be oppressive or burdensome. Weigh heavily on the mind. Determine the weight of. The butcher weighed the chicken. Have weight, have import, carry weight. Have a certain weight. A branch of knowledge. Anthropology is the study of human beings. Give careful consideration to. Applying the mind to learning and understanding a subject, especially by reading. No schools offer graduate study in interior design. Attentive consideration and meditation. Preliminary drawing for later elaboration. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. He is meditating in his study. Learn by reading books. He is studying geology in his room. A detailed critical inspection. A written document describing the findings of some individual or group. This accords with the recent study by Hill and Dale. Be a student of a certain subject. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. A composition intended to develop one aspect of the performer's technique. A study in spiccato bowing. A room used for reading and writing and studying. He knocked lightly on the closed door of the study. A state of deep mental absorption. She is in a deep study. Be a student. Follow a course of study. Be enrolled at an institute of learning. Someone who memorizes quickly and easily, as the lines for a part in a play. He is a quick study. Judge or regard. look upon, judge. I believe her to be very smart. Be confident about something. I believe that he will come back from the war. Accept as true, take to be true. I believed his report. Credit with veracity. You cannot believe this man. Follow a credo. Have a faith, be a believer. When you hear his sermons, you will be able to believe, too. Judge or regard. Look upon, judge. The racist conceives such people to be inferior. Have the idea for. He conceived of a robot that would help paralyzed patients. Become pregnant. Undergo conception. She cannot conceive. Judge or regard. Look upon, judge. I think he is very smart. Recall knowledge from memory. Have a recollection. I can't think what her last name was. Have in mind as a purpose. She didn't think to harm me. Expect, believe, or suppose. He didn't think to find her in the kitchen. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. I've been thinking all day and getting nowhere. An instance of deliberate thinking. I need to give it a good think. Bring into a given condition by mental preoccupation. Decide by pondering, reasoning, or reflecting. Can you think what to do next? Dispose the mind in a certain way. Do you really think so? Focus one's attention on a certain state. Think thin. Have or formulate in the mind. Think good thoughts. Imagine or visualize. Just think you could be rich one day. Ponder. Reflect on, or reason about. Be capable of conscious thought. Man is the only creature that thinks. Look at carefully, study mentally. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. The act of looking or seeing or observing. He tried to get a better view of it. See or watch. View a show on television. Graphic art consisting of the graphic or photographic representation of a visual percept. Figure 2 shows photographic and schematic views of the equipment. Look at carefully, study mentally. View a problem. A way of regarding situations or topics, etc. Consider what follows from the positivist view. The range of the eye. They were soon out of view. A personal belief or judgment that is not founded on proof or certainty. The visual percept of a region. The most desirable feature of the park are the beautiful views. A message expressing a belief about something. The expression of a belief that is held with confidence but not substantiated by positive knowledge or proof. Deem to be. She views this quite differently from me. The range of interest or activity that can be anticipated. Outward appearance. They look the same in outward view. Purpose. The phrase, with a view to, means, with the intention of, or, for the purpose of. He took the computer with a view to pawning it. A discussion in which reasons are advanced for and against some proposition or proposal. Have an argument about something. Think about carefully, weigh. The formal presentation of a stated proposition and the opposition to it, usually followed by a vote. Discuss the pros and cons of an issue. Argue with one another. We debated the question of abortion. Characterized by conscious design or purpose. A deliberate attempt to provoke a response. Carefully thought out in advance. He made a deliberate decision not to respond negatively. Unhurried and with care and dignity. With all deliberate speed. Think about carefully, weigh. Discuss the pros and cons of an issue. Think about carefully, weigh. Open to argument or debate. That is a moot question. A hypothetical case that law students argue as an exercise. He organized the weekly moot. Of no legal significance, as having been previously decided. Cause to move around a center so as to show another side of. Turn up, loosen, or remove earth. Turn over the soil for aeration. Move by turning over or rotating. Turn over on your left side. Think about carefully, weigh. Place into the hands or custody of. Turn from an upright or normal position. Cause to overturn from an upright or normal position. Turn upside down, or throw so as to reverse. Turn over the pancakes. Do business worth a certain amount of money. Usually preceded by, in, a detail or point. The condition of being honored, esteemed or respected or well regarded. A man who has earned high regard. An attitude of admiration or esteem. A feeling of friendship and esteem. She mistook his manly regard for love. Paying particular notice, as to children or helpless people. Usually plural, a polite expression of desire for someone's welfare. Give him my kind regards. Look at attentively. Connect closely and often incriminatingly. A long fixed look. Deemed to be. An agreement between parties, usually arrived at after discussion, fixing obligations of each. He rose to prominence through a series of shady deals. Wood that is easy to saw, from conifers such as pine or fir. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Succeed in doing, achieving, or producing, something, with the limited or inadequate means available. Often followed by, of, a large number or amount or extent. A deal of trouble. Direct the course of, manage or control. A particular instance of buying or selling. It was a package deal. Give out as one's portion or share. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. This book deals with incest. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. She deals in gold. Administer or bestow, as in small portions. Deal a blow to someone. The cards held in a card game by a given player at any given time. Be in charge of, act on, or dispose of. I can deal with this crew of workers. A plank of softwood, fir or pine board. Behave in a certain way towards others. He deals fairly with his employees. Distribute cards to the players in a game. Who's dealing? Give a specific card to a player. He dealt me the Queen of Spades. Sell. Deal hashish. Take action with respect to someone or something. How are we going to deal with this problem? The act of apportioning or distributing something. The captain was entrusted with the deal of provisions. The act of distributing playing cards. The deal was passed around the table clockwise. The type of treatment received, especially as the result of an agreement. He got a good deal on his car. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Be capable of holding or containing. This box won't take all the items. Remove something concrete, as by lifting, pushing, or taking off, or remove something abstract. Take the gun from your pocket. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. I don't take sugar in my coffee. Make a film or photograph of something. Take a scene. Be designed to hold or take. This surface will not take the die. Require time or space. Take somebody somewhere. Can you take me to the main entrance? Have sex with. Archaic use. He had taken this woman when she was most vulnerable. Have with oneself. Have on one's person. She always takes an umbrella. Receive or obtain regularly. We take the Times every day. Admit into a group or community. Head into a specified direction. Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Assume, as of positions or roles. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. How should I take this message? Lay claim to, as of an idea. Accept or undergo, often unwillingly. Make use of or accept for some purpose. Take a risk. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Engage for service under a term of contract. Shall we take a guide in Rome? Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. Take on a certain form, attribute, or aspect. Take as an undesirable consequence of some event or state of affairs. Get into one's hands, take physically. Can you take this bag, please? Require as useful, just, or proper. It takes nerve to do what she did. Occupy or take on. Receive willingly something given or offered. Be a student of a certain subject. Proceed along in a vehicle. Point or cause to go, blows, weapons, or objects such as photographic equipment, towards. Ascertain or determine by measuring, computing or take a reading from a dial. Take a pulse. Be seized or affected in a specified way. Take sick. Buy, select. I'll take a pound of that sausage. Carry out. Take action. experience or feel or submit to. Obtain by winning. Winner takes all. Take by force. Take into one's possession. I'll take 3 salmon steaks. The act of photographing a scene or part of a scene without interruption. Travel or go by means of a certain kind of transportation, or a certain route. He takes the bus to work. Have faith or confidence in. Judge to be probable. Take account of. You have to reckon with our opponents. Expect, believe, or suppose. Deem to be. Make a mathematical calculation or computation. Take charge of or deal with. Could you see about lunch? Make sense of. Assign a meaning to. What message do you see in this letter? Go to see a place, as for entertainment. We went to see the Eiffel Tower in the morning. See or watch. This program will be seen all over the world. Get to know or become aware of, usually accidentally. I see that you have been promoted. Date regularly. Have a steady relationship with. Did you know that she is seeing an older man? Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. I want to see whether she speaks French. Perceive or be contemporaneous with. You'll see a lot of cheating in this school. Undergo or live through a difficult experience. Be careful or certain to do something. Make certain of something. Come together. I'll probably see you at the meeting. Accompany or escort. I'll see you to the door. Perceive, an idea or situation, mentally. Now I see. Imagine. Conceive of. See in one's mind. I can't see him on horseback. Observe, check out, and look over carefully or inspect. I must see your passport before you can enter the country. Deem to be. I don't see the situation quite as negatively as you do. Deliberate or decide. Let's see, which movie should we see tonight? Go to see for a social visit. I went to see my friend Mary the other day. Go to see for professional or business reasons. You should see a lawyer. Match or meet. Observe as if with an eye. Perceive by sight or have the power to perceive by sight. You have to be a good observer to see all the details. Receive as a specified guest. The doctor will see you now. See and understand, have a good eye. The artist must first learn to see. The seat within a bishop's diocese where his cathedral is located. Reflect deeply on a subject. In ancient Greek mythology, any of 9 daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne, protector of an art or science. The source of an artist's inspiration. Euterpe was his muse. Come up with an idea, plan, explanation, theory, or principle, after a mental effort. Excogitate a way to measure the speed of light. Reflect deeply on a subject. The scientist must stop to observe and start to excogitate. Reflect deeply on a subject. Invest at a risk. To believe, especially on uncertain or tentative grounds. Reflect deeply on a subject. Philosophers have speculated on the question of God for thousands of years. Talk over conjecturally, or review in an idle or casual way and with an element of doubt or without sufficient reason to reach a conclusion. Reflect deeply on a subject. Reflect deeply on a subject. Reflect deeply on a subject. I mulled over the events of the afternoon. An island in western Scotland in the Inner Hebrides. A term used in Scottish names of promontories. Heat with sugar and spices to make a hot drink. Mulled cider. Be bright by reflecting or casting light. Drive carefully, the wet road reflects. Reflect deeply on a subject. To throw or bend back, from a surface. Sound is reflected well in this auditorium. Give evidence of a certain behavior. His lack of interest in the project reflects badly on him. Give evidence of the quality of. The mess in his dorm room reflects on the student. Manifest or bring back. This action reflects his true beliefs. Show an image of. Her sunglasses reflected his image. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. Reflect deeply on a subject. Consider as a possibility. I contemplated leaving school and taking a full-time job. Look at thoughtfully. Observe deep in thought. Contemplate one's navel. Reflect deeply on a subject. Chew the cuds. Cows ruminate. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. Reflect deeply on a subject. Reflect deeply on a subject. Form a critical opinion of. We shouldn't pass judgment on other people.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.